Hey guys, and welcome to Spirituality September week 3. This week I'm going to be talking about autism and spirituality. And I almost didn't do this video blog because I don't have an autistic child and I'm not autistic myself, so I don't have any personal experience with it. And my whole journey since I started blogging over a year ago was about giving mums, dads, grandparents, whoever, my experience, so I could come to you with everything that had happened to us, everything that had worked for us, everything that hadn't worked for us, so I could really help as many people as I could. So as I say, I almost didn't do this because I didn't want to talk about something that I didn't have first-hand experience with. I didn't want to say something that would be wrong or that somebody may feel offended with because, you know, who am I because I don't have that experience. So I reached out to my beautiful Instagram mums and Facebook mums, and I asked them, if you have a story about your child that you'd like to share with me and you'd like me to deliver this message, please message me. And I've got some beautiful stories here that I really want to share with you today. So over the last 2 weeks, I've been talking about spirituality and ADHD, and also spirituality and the defiant child, also known as oppositional defiance disorder. And I wanted to come with this message that I've come to learn over the last year, but really so much more over the last few months, that there is a huge spiritual connection to these children, to these adults, to these humans. And it's something that can't be ignored. And once I started to come out with this message, I can't tell you how many parents have reached out to me to share their stories with me. And it's just been so beautiful because it made me feel like I'm not just kind of this crazy person with this idea. And it's been absolutely wonderful and humbling, and it's made me even more passionate than I was at the beginning. So I wanted to share some stories with you here. I've got them here just to read out to you as well. So first of all, I talked last week about Indigo Children, and I talked about the fact that I believe that I'm an Indigo child, and so is Sarah. And if you want to understand my message about that, if you want to watch my other videos about ADHD and spirituality, and I talk all about that there. This is from a beautiful mum who I've been connecting with for over a year. She has 4 children, 2 of them are twins, and they have autism. One of them has ADHD. And I really wanted to just deliver her message to you in the very best way that I can, so we can talk about this spirituality and autism link. And what she's put here is, she's talked about her son and said that he's a crystal child. She said that he never spoke because there was no need to, when he could use his emotions instead. He connected with water at such a young age, and he was a gatherer from the moment he could walk. He stands out from the rest of us. Even though his brother has autism as well, he doesn't show the same talents that his other brother has. For no reason as a child, he would stand in the hallway and he would say that he was laughing at a boy. He would always be so loving with everybody and really want people to be happy and not sad. He would always say, don't be sad, just be happy, even from a young age. He was caring and always smiling until he started school and he had to conform to society. He then became withdrawn and angry and started to act very odd. The mum goes on and says that he sees the detail in everything. He found happiness in collecting bottle tops from the park sticks and rocks as he was always digging up stuff. This actually gives me goosebumps, makes me emotional. Old glass bottles, coins, anything that was free that he found just gave him pure joy. He hoarded them until about 1.5, and it was beyond his years. People just couldn't believe that he was only 1.5, yet he would collect all these things. She says here that when he was 3, he would mow the lawn. At 2, he was hammering a nail, and he just keeps amazing everyone with his creativity. This is something that none of the other children have. He can also feel emotions. He can see auras, and he always talks about colours when he talks about people. He sees pure love in everyone, And when he's hurt or put down or yelled or treated bad at school, he still sees pure love. The next lady here, thank you so much, because you'll know who you are. Thank you for this beautiful message. My son has ASD, but he is the most intelligent soul with an amazing perspective on life. He is gentle and kind and no harm to others. He will change the world, and I know because he's been here before. He proves it. He sees things. He sees other dimensions and realms. He inspires us to constantly look outside the box. He is not his label. He just has a different way, and that's not to be punished, but celebrated. My brother has ADHD. Growing up, he was incredibly misunderstood and shunned at every turn. He was never given opportunities because he didn't fit into the box. The moment we started seeing his perspective, going back to his son, and showering him with positivity and love, was the moment that he started to live in this world. He truly has come so far from the day the label was slapped on his face. Just standing here with goosebumps right now. Another beautiful mama. Thank you so much for reaching out to the Autism Mums today. Eddie was diagnosed with ASD level 2 18 months ago. His journey has really been more our journey together as a family. I think we got to this wonderful place in life because of autism. The moment we started to appreciate Eddie for who he is and appreciating his beautiful spiritual soul, our lives finally made sense. Eddie was born in a hurry. I remember looking at him and thinking, you old soul. It was like I was looking at an old grandfather. Long story short, here we are, living our soulful life. We no longer ask why, we accept and love, in big letters, bigger and deeper, and it's all because of our beautiful son, Eddie. I am getting so emotional reading these stories. Okay, from another beautiful mama. Hey Susy, I'll just start with my little boy Ben. He has autism and ADHD and has very bad days, but with love and patience and with what I believe is somebody who is guiding us along the way. He has just entered mainstream school. It's all about the work you put in and the team of people who work with you, but you need to have 100% belief and faith in yourself on the good and the bad days. I also wanted to share a story with you about a beautiful mama that connected with me only yesterday on Facebook and gave me her story about living with ADHD and autism as an adult. She put here that she'd watched my videos and they'd resonated so deeply in her heart because when she met her husband, she was broken. She has autism and ADHD, and all that she needed was to meet somebody who could realize how amazing she was. Her husband then helped to heal her because he understood her, and he gave her the space and love to realize how amazing she could be. She goes on to tell me about her husband. He's a very remarkable person and possibly also autistic. They have a son. He's now 4 and he has all these beautiful traits. Super high energy, super strong will. He can get very anxious if he's not heard. Earlier this year, she felt that she needed to look inside herself on how to parent him. And also this summer, she's had a real, almost awakening moment. She talks about the fact that she now tells herself that she is enough. She is enough, and she's realized that having ADHD and having autism, you have so many amazing gifts. She also goes on to tell me that she believes that she's an indigo child as well. She's very intuitive, she's very spiritual, and she questions everything. She realized that she had Asperger's on her 30th birthday, which was a couple of years ago, and it felt hugely significant in her spiritual journey. It's given her so much light and joy and purpose. She says, I see autism totally different to most people because of my experience, and I want to empower kids and her kids to see that they're not broken. These are just 4 or 5 of the stories that I've been given. I've been sent so many of these amazing stories, and each one is so different but yet so the same. That we look at autism as though there's something wrong with the child, but what we're not doing is realizing it's just a different type of child that's come to this planet for a very special reason. The one thing that's going to heal our planet and heal our society is love. The one thing that's going to heal us is love. And all of these beautiful mums are coming through telling me how their children are full of such love, they're full of such joy. They see love in the world around them, in each other, in nature, in animals. You know, it's just, this whole experience for me is so incredible, because when I started this journey, I was so full of fear. And for anybody that's read my book, Saving Sarah, the 3/4 of it, even more, is full of fear. Little bits of light, but the majority I was so fearful. And at the end, I started to get into the light. I started to come from a place of love instead of a place of fear. I stopped listening to society. I stopped listening to anybody that had anything fearful to say about my daughter or my journey. And when I started to move into the light, the most amazing things happen. And I would just keep sharing this message with as many parents, as many people. I'm connecting with so many beautiful teenagers right now, and I love every single one of you for showing up and messaging me and sharing with me your beautiful ADHD gifts, your beautiful autistic gifts, because these are gifts, and we need to start seeing them as gifts and stop seeing them as disorders. I really hope I've done this video justice. It's something that I just wanted to give to my beautiful community that's out there. So many autistic mums out there that need to be heard. And thank you so much for sharing your story with me. Next week, I'm going to be talking about spirituality and PMDD. Again, a lot of mums have been connecting with me recently. I was also diagnosed with this at the beginning of the year. For anybody that's wondering what on earth it is, it's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Who comes up with these names, please? Can we not have something a little bit nicer? And again, I found myself full of fear, and I've broken through that, and I've come out the other end, and I am in love, baby. So I can't wait to share that with you next week. Take care, guys. See you next week.